Very sad news for Harry and Meghan. Sussex mocked worldwide privacy tour by Comedy Central. Hello and a very warm welcome back to Kate Middleton and the Queen News Channel. Congratulations to the two men responsible for South Park, Trey Parker and Matt Stone. They did a really hilarious job bursting Meghan and Harry's humorless, disingenuous, woke, organic, humanitarian, philanthropic, and activist balloon. And it's not like they simply stuck a pin in it, they blew the whole thing up like only South Park can. We had noticed that the headlines were getting a little bit boring in the aftermath of the docuseries and the book, and along comes something to counter their self-promoting nonsense that packs a punch that's much more effective than any publication or bullying reports or banning from the coronation. And that is absolute ridicule. See, narcissists cannot tolerate ridicule. It's searing, it is lethal. It touches the very part of their being that their narcissism wants to protect. And one of my favorite aspects of this whole thing is there is no lawyer or PR agency in this entire world who can litigate or spin against something like that. If Meghan and Harry even try to fight back, they are only going to make themselves look worse, and I haven't seen anyone stand up on their behalf either, because that would be basically suicidal. The attention to detail is remarkable. I mean, from the funeral, showing the candle to Meghan's first trooping the color outfit, to the books, the private jet, the really funny parody of their best friend Elton John, and my favorite, the magazine covers. South Park nailed it. And the newspapers are having a great time with it too. It seems like only The Guardian has avoided weighing in. Already, some outlets are moving on from talking about how funny the thing was to considering exactly what this means for Meghan and Harry's entire PR strategy and also their reason for living. I mean, seriously, folks, what else could have achieved that in about 20 minutes? And I think one of my favorite aspects of this whole thing is that it also shows Meghan and Harry trying to rebrand themselves. The branding is spot on. They did such a good job with it. So him, royal prince, millionaire, world traveler, victim. And what is Meghan? Well, she's a sorority girl, actress, influencer, and victim. They also included some amazing one-liners. Here is a nod to archetypes and Harry's stupidity. Some people would say your Instagram-loving bitch wife doesn't actually want privacy. And then Harry replies, "How dare you, sir? My Instagram-loving bitch wife has always wanted her privacy." I mean, really, I cannot imagine what's going on in Montecito right now. I'm guessing Harry's screaming and Meghan's getting through two dinner services, a tea set, and of course the salt and pepper together naturally. Meanwhile, I guess the neighbors are just horrified. And an LA source has spoken out to claim that Harry developed a severe mental condition. Harry had been sick for a long time. He had always been a risk taker since the very beginning. No matter what, if Harry wanted something, he always got it. There was an unspoken rule when dealing with Harry that he was allowed to do whatever he wanted to without interference from anybody in law enforcement. And why was that? Well, the royal family does a lot to watch out for their own. Harry's narcissism apparently came from his father's side. Now, on one occasion, Harry was playing strip poker. He was drinking and he was using some other drugs too, in full birthday suit splendor. I mean, the bar brawls, the boxing with his peers or strangers seem pretty impressive. Now, Harry has inherited a lot from the very small gene pool of the royal family lines. His grandparents were cousins, they came from the same gene pool. And it was where royalty married royalty. That's what happened back in the day. Thanks to his ancestors, he has gotten an identity from all of them. Bipolar disorder, drama, risk taking, all of that prevailed, and that was Harry's life. And it came from his mother's side, too. Harry's always believed that he's superior to everybody else. He believes that he's some type of god, I guess. Harry had a very scary personality, paranoid, jealous, anxious, cruel, and incredibly dangerous. Harry has always been immature, and he did have lots of girlfriends, but he was never good to them. Harry's also a hedonist. If something feels good, he wants it. I mean, we have heard some pretty disturbing stuff from Harry, like that he talks to his deceased mother, that he listened to her instructions and then carried out her plans, that he was happy to have her there with him. And he also believes that Meghan is an exact embodiment of his deceased mother. Harry doesn't seem like he's able to separate the two women. The lines between reality and fantasy are confusing to him. He needs counseling, he needs a long vacation, and he probably needs some good medication too, not the self-medication that he chooses. Harry also requires a physical examination to rule out any other problems. Most importantly, though, he needs someone professional to help him, somebody who is not intimidated by the crown. And see, Harry's problems also come from the Spencer side of the family. Diana was very fragile emotionally. One of her ancestors who married into the Cavendishes was also very unstable. They actually made a whole movie about her called Duchess, and it was starring Keira Knightley. I suspect that Harry was using drugs since a young age for a variety of reasons. I mean, I guess he was self medicating. I don't think Harry has any real coping strategies, and he's never really had to face any consequences for his behavior. See, the thing about it is, Meghan also never had to deal with any consequences. Both of them are spoiled rotten. And folks, if you are young parents who have young children, you can look at the two of them and see that discipline really is necessary. And with the continued use of illicit drugs, blackmail, brainwashing, and also woke alternative therapy that Meghan's got him involved in, now we see what Harry has become. Meghan is the one who orchestrated a lot of this. I think that she really wants to destroy the monarchy, and so she's destroying Harry. Maybe she's just using him as leverage, or maybe she sees him as a bargaining chip for money. And Harry, sadly, is just very immature and very weak. I actually have thought that it's possible that maybe Diana and Harry both suffer from ADHD. They struggled in school, and I understand that comorbid symptoms are anxiety and depression. But there's also psychosis and paranoia, that's obvious. And I'm not really sure if that's because of all the drugs that Harry took or if it's something he inherited. I do wish that a psychiatrist would do something and offer an analysis of Harry's presentation. Harry needs some legitimate psychiatric help. He needs to be in detox. He needs to be in rehab. He needs cognitive behavior therapy. He doesn't need this BS woke alternative therapy where, oh, you only need to care about your truth and you can just blame everybody else for your problems. He needs mediation and he needs lengthy counseling. So, where exactly is Meghan now? I suspect the way that Harry is right now is part of her wider plan. She's going to turn on him, but he's too dumb to see that. And a source also claims that Harry was born with mental health problems. Diana herself said that he was not very smart and that he was very troubled as a child. Now, if anybody was around and watched them grow up, it was clear to see Harry had problems. And apparently, Harry also inherited his mother's tendency to feel depressed and paranoid. But really, it seems like he only inherited his mother's problems. He didn't inherit any of her good traits. She had problems, but still, she put other people before herself, and she devoted herself to the charities that she loved. She managed to still do amazing things with all the issues that she was struggling with. It's sad that Harry does not have the drive, the determination, and the self discipline that she had. And that's one thing I think the royal family messed up on. They knew that he was troubled, but they covered up for him and coddled him for such a long time. And it's just going to continue. Harry is disturbed, and he has a wife who encourages this disturbance. Clearly, it has not helped anymore because he's with Meghan. It's like she's wearing the pants in the relationship. But you know what? I am disgusted with both of them. Harry did not need to write that book. They didn't have to do interviews with Oprah, Netflix, podcast. They didn't have to make all those snide remarks about her pretending how she would curtsy in front of the Queen. I don't even know if they realize all that they did to hurt the royal family. I think they do, though. I think they just don't care. And all of us have noticed that everything we know about the two of them has come from themselves, but they're still trying to blame the royal family for people thinking negatively about them, like that racist remark. And now they're saying, oh, they didn't say that. Well, they implied it. I mean, how would we even know about it if they didn't say it? Meghan and Harry, you started all of this, but I guess they didn't get the response they were hoping for, and now they're looking like a couple of idiots. Well, you know what? If the cap fits, wear it. After all, they literally put that cap on themselves.